was B something. Actually, what? Hold on. Let me do that. So, what we were taught, wow, my accent is like really screwed up right now. What we were taught in this class was to put the knot somewhere where you're going to be stitching eventually. And because if I go here, the thread right now underneath the fabric is going this way. So the stitches that I'm going to do in this area are going to secure, and that way I can cut the knot away, and there's no knot. But normally I would do 2 holding stitches, which would be just like 1 block length, on regular fabric like cotton, thicker linen, uh, silk, because we're working on silk for the peony one. Yes, excess thread. Yeah, it's like the end. Instead of doing wraps, which like with the gold when I was doing this, I actually had the knot sitting like here, and then I did a wraps around this, and then I started stitching, and then I cut away the gold. So that way, like, I didn't cut away the gold. I cut away the knot of gold. So that way, it was secure. Like all the wraps that I did here were secure enough after I pulled at the stitches here. So that's kind of similar to what's going on here. It's really, really cool when it starts forming. But normally, like on the silk and cotton, I would just have a knot somewhere like, so if I was stitching this, I'd have it like here, then I'd do 2 holding stitches on the line here before I stitch on top of it, and then I'd stitch on top of it. And the reason why you want to kind of do no knots is because if you mount this on a mat board, for example, it won't bulk up where the threads are. Hello, Carrot. I was taught sewing at school, but only twice in the whole year. But school, the fact that they taught you any type of stitching at school is really cool. I did not get taught, but I learned on my own. My family's really into weaving, so I've learned a little bit from there. It is not cross stitch. It is a type of counted work, though. It's a embroidery technique called black work, particularly because it's creating a certain different types of patterns that are consistent, and it's done in black work. So in black thread. My goodness, my brain. So if you were doing red thread, for example, it's scarlet work, white thread, white work. But white work is a little different. It gets funky. I don't know much about white work personally. Okay, hydration from my water bottle so it doesn't track very well. I look like ah. The only thing I learned in the whole class, the whole year, was measurements. Well, I mean, that's good. Measurements are important. Oh man, speaking of measurements, I cannot think in imperial. I can't think in inches very well in feet. I mean, for my height, I know, but when it comes to my other measurements and then measurements here and like the sashiko that we're doing, it's all, she's Japanese, so she's teaching in metric. So my brain is like instantly thinking metric constantly. So it's a little hard to trust to inches because I'm hearing metric so much. So I think I'm going to decide later what I'm going to do in terms of where I want this pattern to be thicker. So I can just go over it again later with another single thread, and then I can do like these little lines, notch work. I realize that my current situation here with the camera is a little funky. It feels like it's way down low there. I just need to adjust It's a little better. There we go. But yeah, it's not quite cross stitch in the sense that you're not doing crosses. You're using similar, not the same fabric. The fabric is that linen? Hold on. AIDA. AIDA is fabric. Is what type of fabric? It is made of cotton. Okay, this is linen. You usually use cotton in cross stitching. Uh, the whole idea of it there being a